Someone has knocked on our door this evening and stepped across the threshold as one of our house guests. He is now crossing over from the normal world into our haunted house. Welcome to the Looks Creepy Cool podcast, part of Haunted House FearFest. I'm your host, Renee, and tonight I'm joined by Kai Edmund Bogatzki, director, writer, producer of The Behemoth, which is nominated for Best Horror Feature in the Haunted House FearFest Festival lineup that starts on October 6th. Together, we'll wander room by room through the haunted house and uncover what makes his film so creepy cool. So let's step inside. Hi, Kai. How are you?
Hi. Yes, I'm tired, but I'm good.
So I call my the audience, they're the watchers of the house. So Kai is amazing, guys. He is speaking to us from his car. He's tired. He's been up since 6 a.m. He's in Germany right now. So I appreciate him staying up with me for the time difference and also fitting me in time, like while he's driving, but he's safe. So that's good.
I will
Yeah.
try to stay safe. Yes.
Yes, yeah. So as I speak with people all across the world and in Germany, so sorry if I butcher this, but I'm not fluent in German, but I will do my best. So I want to welcome Kai, welcome to the house, and I'm glad you followed the fear. So in German, I'm saying this as Im Haus, ich freu mich, dass ihr de Angst seed. I don't know how I did, but I wanna.
I understood the first part.
Okay. All right. Well, at least he understood something. So I was
Yeah,
practicing
it was like
before.
willkommen im Haus.
Becoming in house. Okay. All right. The more I
Yes.
practice, the more I practice. So I know Kai is driving, guys, but Kai's film, The Behemoth, it's a horror feature for a Haunted House Fear Fest. It's absolutely amazing, brilliant. Just, watching everything from scene to scene. He really layers in the horror with the tension of the film that really builds up each scene. And there's so many, I would say, twists and turns, I would say, where I think something's going to
hmm
happen and then something else happens, which blew me away like towards the end. So I'm not going to give it away. So guys, obviously, well, this is audio. So the first opening scene that I want to start off with, Kai, is just in the very beginning.
Yes.
I will describe it. It was like I was eating my food, and I watch a lot of horror films, so I can eat while there's a gory scene. But the opening scene where the woman is, you think she's like, I won't give it away, but basically, they basically think she is like the one that will just save the
Yes.
world per se. And the opening scene, guys, just imagine lying on slab of like concrete or what have you, and or stone, and you're literally getting something implanted in you thinking that you're going to be the one. And just the amount of gore or just opening scene that I saw with the blood and things gushing out, I've just had to ask him, what possessed you to put that in the opening scene, and can you tell us more about it, because it is absolutely your fear of ingredient as we step into the creepy kitchen for this episode, for the beginning half of this
Yes, of course.
interview.
I would love to tell you more about this specific
Mm-hmm.
opening scene. Well, in the first version of the film, because I have edited also by myself because I work as an editor, and the first version of the film, there wasn't this scene. So the film started completely different. My first idea was to show some snippets from the end on the start of the film to get something like a full circle moment in the end of the film. And then there were some distributors that they were already interested in the film and wanted to see a rough cut of the film. And I've sent it to them, and all of them said it's a great film, great horror, great gore, but the beginning isn't working. We need more horror in the beginning. We need much more horror in the beginning. And I was on vacation in Greece, and I was lying on the beach when I got the emails where the people were asking if I could get more horror in the beginning. And
Wow.
I told my wife, I need to get to the room. I will come back with my MacBook. I need to write a new opening scene for the Behemoth. And then it was a sunny, lovely day, writing my MacBook, the new scene, which came immediately after I've read this email. The scene came immediately into my head. And then
Wow.
after the vacation was done, I contacted Johnny, who plays Malak, the cult leader, and said we need to shoot, we need a reshoot for the Behemoth. And yeah, I guess 1 month later or no, we were on vacation in September, and in October we were shooting the scene. Yeah, this is how this new opening scene started. And this is, I think it's
Wow.
something that shows the audience right in the beginning where the trip is going to be, or what the trip of the film is going to be.
Yeah, because you think it, I mean, so basically, it seems like a great day on the beach gives you inspiration and a little bit of pressure from a distributor to really give you the opening scene to one of
Yeah.
the most, I would say, one of the most goriest scenes I've watched during the film that I couldn't keep my eyes off of, which is amazing. So like what drew you to the story? Like was there folklore or fear that's in Germany that inspired you, or how did you come up with the story?
It was also on another vacation with my family.
Vacation. Whoa, that's where all the creativity of horror comes. Well, my
Yeah,
goodness.
I get all my gory ideas and all my horror ideas on vacation.
My goodness. So I can only so basically you watch like probably like when you're not on vacation, it's all sappy stuff you think about probably.
No, of course not.
No.
It was 1 year before. Me, my wife, and our first child, we've been in the mountain area where we were shooting the film. And we were driving up the gondola on the top of the mountain. And I was sitting in the gondola and was like, I would love to shoot a horror film here. So the whole idea of the Behemoth started with the gondola. And then I've
Wow.
sent an email to the owner of the gondola and I told him who I am and I have an idea for a horror film and if I would be allowed to shoot there, if I can make the film. And he was, I guess, 2 days later, got a response from him, and he just said, "Yes, sure, no problem. You can shoot
Wow.
there." And a few months, it was in 2023, and in
Mhm.
summer, 2023, we went to Greece again. So we do a one time a year. We're going to Greece for a few weeks, and
Wow.
there I started to rethink again the idea with I want to shoot a horror film in the mountains in the gondola with snow and cold weather. And it was the same hotel, the same beach as the next year where I came up with the idea of the new opening scene. It was all the same area where I started to, yeah,
Wow.
write the story of the Behemoth together.
Wow. It all just came together. Like, sure, you can shoot a horror film right there. And that's great. So
Yeah.
how long what did it take you, what, 2, 3 months to finish the film? Or how
You
long
mean
did it take?
shooting
Yeah,
or?
shooting and like editing the film, like all together. How long
Mm,
did it take?
let me think. It was almost a year, I guess.
Oh,
So we were shooting in blocks. So we had the first block was in January. Then we had the next block was in the mountain area for 10 or 12 days. It was in March.
okay.
Then I ordered the first reshoot in August, I guess, and October we had the new opening scene reshoot. Yeah.
Wow. So how was it? So that brings me into our library of shadows, where like basically what inspired you like to get into horror and everything else, or your horror origin
Mhm.
story. So where did that come about? Did it start with when you were little, or how did that go?
Yes, when I was a little kid, my father brought me into horror on the weekends when German television was a film like, I don't know, Jaws, for example, or The Fog, or
Wow.
The Omen. He woke me
Mhm.
up. So I was sleeping, of course,
Yeah.
and he came to my room. Kai, come into the living room. We watch now The Omen. And I was like 5 or 6 years old. And one day, came home from school from what's the English word again now for the first school you get as a little kid? Is it elementary school in English?
Yeah, or is it like preschool, first
Preschool?
grade?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Um,
that's young.
and my father came home from night shift, and I had a video recorder in my room, and he had a videotape in his hand, and he said, "Kai, get your video recorder in the living room. We're watching a zombie film now together." And he showed me Dawn of the Dead, and this was the turning point for me. And
Wow.
I was like eight
Yep.
years old, I guess.
8 years old. So what about Dawn of the Dead that really was the turning point for you? Was it just I don't know, like, what was it?
I was impressed by everything of this film. I was
Wow.
impressed of the zombies I loved. Roger was the first, so the character Roger in Dawn of
Mhm.
the Dead, he was my first real childhood hero next to the Power Rangers.
Yes, the Power Ra who's your favorite ranger? Was it the red, yellow, black?
Jason, of course. It was always Jason.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I remember the Power Rangers, that was the show back then, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
wow. So, in terms of so it was so basically, like, the creativity of that film, like and that carried through, like, your other films, because I read your earlier film, Scars of Xavier, was a festival
Yes.
success, so what
Yes.
lessons did you carry from that film going forward to The Behemoth?
Well, between Scars of Xavier and the Behemoth, it took me 8 years to get a second film done. And I think that this shows how hard it is to get funding in Germany for horror. It's almost impossible. So
Why?
you have
Why is
to,
that?
I don't know. I really don't know. And this is a question all German independent filmmakers are asking themselves. Why don't we get any fundings here? We have to work with I can't even call this a budget, you know? So we have to work with private money, private investors. If you find someone who is willing to invest in you or in your film. And so, yeah, it took me 8 years. And well, Scars of Xavier was a festival success, but it wasn't well, it's released in 8 or 9 countries now, so it's also a small success for me that it's got a release in different countries. But
Mhm.
to be honest, it wasn't a financial success for me.
Mm,
So, and this is one learning. I'm trying now to not do the same mistake with the Behemoth.
right.
And I guess the biggest learning for me is now because I want to shoot English language because it opens more doors when you think international. And that's why I used native English speaking
Mhm.
actors instead of Germans who talk like in crappy English like I do. So yeah, no, this was
Wow,
the biggest learning from Scars of Xavier to the Behemoth. I want to shoot with native actors.
yeah, it's just so is it in Germany there's, like, certain films, like, if it's, like, a drama or mystery or something that might get more funding than a horror film per se, or is it just the luck of the draw?
Bad and crappy comedy
Mm,
is in
wow,
Germany funded. And yeah, I don't know when you have a political message, something like this, drama. So yeah, but you
wow.
have no chance with genre like horror, thriller, whatever. Of course, there
Yeah.
are a few horror films that got budget in Germany or thrillers or whatever. But yeah, for me as a small or little independent filmmaker, there's no chance to
Yeah,
get into
wow.
this funding pool.
So with that, and to your words, I wouldn't even say if it's a budget, like for the behemoth, like how did you
Hmm.
handle like the effects, the sound, like, the cast, like Johnny, Danielle,
Hmm.
Patrice, right? Like how did you get
Hmm.
them to be part of the cast and how did you manage all the technical aspects of everything as well with like such a limited budget?
Yes. Um, I'm when I ask my well, thanks to Scars of Xavier, I have I would say my crew
Mhm.
on my in my back who are interested or who want to work with me on all my other films again, like Philip who's doing amazing special effects. And of course, while I'm writing a script, I'm already thinking what can I pay for or what is fundable with a small budget. And this is something I will have in my mind all the time. And then I send my ideas to Philip and ask him how much will it be when we use this effects. And then he takes his notes, he's calculating, he's sending me a number, and then in this case, I say yes, that's affordable or not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we start to cut or change ideas how to shoot the film. Is it really necessary to show or to build a dummy of actor whoever, or can we work with something else to do the same effect? And when I talk to the rest of my crew or to the actors, I'm 100% honest. Everybody knows what the budget is, and everybody knows what I can pay, and it's then their decision if they want to make it, yes or no. So
Right.
no one is forced to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is also when I got a lot of positive feedback on the script, and the actors were like, "Well, I know it's an independent film. I know it has not a lot of money, but I'm fine with the budget you can pay me. And yeah, this is how I
Yeah.
get all this stuff together.
Well well, I will say, like, watching the film, it doesn't look like an indie film, and I say that in the best way. I mean, it looks like a full production, and I mean, like, I'm just, like, blown away by your film, which
Thank
is
you.
just amazing. So that
Thank you.
brings me to like what you describe as like what's pushing you forward, the attic call. This is where we talk about like what's pulling our guests forward after the behemoth, what's your
Hmm.
next idea what's your next vacation so that you can have another idea to
Ah,
start writing, you know.
well, we had our vacation already this year. So
Okay.
um, no, I was, thanks to someone who's also one of the investors of the Behemoth, I've sent him a script I have written long before the Behemoth. And it's yeah, I would say a little bloodier version of Insidious. I would,
No way.
the
Wow.
film is called Obscure,
Wow.
and he loved the script. And yeah, I have shot this film back in March this year. So
Wow.
I will have to start the editing very soon. I will still have to do some 3 or 4 day reshoot because we couldn't get everything done in back in March this year.
Mhm.
So yeah, this will be the next wrap obscure, then dive into the editing, and yeah, of course there are some other ideas I am working on, and yeah, we will see what will be the film after obscure.
Wow. So is it I know you probably can't reveal too much, but does it take place during the winter time or is it more like a summer like haunted house or anything you can share to tease us a
Well,
bit?
obscure isn't a place in any weather conditions or whatever. It's
Mhm.
I guess 90% of the film is inside an apartment.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
about
that's all he could say.
that young. Well, it's gonna it's I guess the classic cliche story behind all this of this film. A young woman moves into a new apartment after something horrible happened in her private life, and suddenly a demonic creature presence is hunting her and is after her soul.
Wow.
Yeah, this ends
Wow.
in a very. I hope it's. I hope this will be also a very good twist in the end. Why she and why in general.
Well, I'm telling the watchers of the house, the audience, like after watching the behemoth and the twists and turns there, I can only imagine what's going to be in Obscure. So I can't wait. So we reached our final room, which is basically you share the creepiest thing that's happened to you and the coolest thing that's happened into your life. So you can answer in whatever order.
Wow, this is a tough one.
Yeah. Well, it's the Looks Creepy Cool podcast. So, we
Yeah.
always like to delve into the fear of others.
Well,
Any ghost stories, demon stories?
fortunately, nothing really creepy happened to my
No, you were never
life.
haunted or anything or thought you heard
No,
something? No, wow. And
no,
you watch
no, not
and you
no, not
and you
really.
write and direct horror movies. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is. I think this is the only thing I can. I can't think of myself writing an action film or a comedy. I can't write comedy. So the
Yeah.
only thing I guess I can write, I hope so, is horror.
Horror. So what's the coolest thing that's ever happened to you?
Coolest. Based on horror?
Or anything. It can be anything in your life.
Well, of course, the coolest thing is the birth of my 2 kids.
Uh,
This is the coolest thing,
well,
or meeting my wife. Well,
Well, well, we
yeah,
did
yeah.
get today like your ingredient of fear for the behemoth and your ingredient for fear with the other project that you're working on, Obscure. The Behemoth guys, watch it. Haunted House Fear Fest starts October 6th. Tickets will be available next week. Kai, I'm like you as well. I'm doing
Mhm,
thing. I don't have a big team or things like that. So every
mhm,
hour and every
mhm.
second counts. So yeah, I totally understand. So I'm just excited for everyone to watch the behemoth and what you have store coming up. And I always say this to my house guests. It's hard to get into Haunted House Fear Fest and you always have a door open here. So as we continue to grow, I wish you much continued success. And yeah, thanks for joining the podcast.
Thank you very, very much. And I'm very happy to be part of the Haunted House FearFest. Yeah,
Thank
I'm very
you.
happy.
Yay! And then just let everyone know there's a virtual event for the awards ceremony streaming on all the social platforms is November 2nd at 11 a.m. If you are the winner, then the award will be shipped to you. You'll get your winner award, everything
Okay,
else. We have
nice.
several categories. Some of our films were at the festival are already have been on Amazon Prime later on, and then on I think Tubi, and I forget the other streaming partner, so we're getting good. The festivals are picking up steam, so we're excited about that. And then if you're
Oh,
into horror
that's
video games, yeah. And if you're into horror video games, we have a Steam page that's going to be up October
mhm.
6th through October 19th. So, you know, all around the world, Haunted House Fear Fest accepts everyone and every guest who loves horror. So we're excited.
Me too.
Want more chills and chatter? We're streaming on all podcast platforms.